What if I told you you could build $5,000 per month in passive income in just 8 years, starting with $50,000? Not by flipping houses, not by owning rentals, but by doing something much more hands-off, and honestly, much more predictable for busy professionals. Here's the exact strategy. You start with $50,000, you earn 10% annually, but instead of waiting a full year, your money is deployed in deals that turn every 6 months. So you're earning about 5% every 6 months, and you're reinvesting those profits immediately. Then you add another $50,000 every year. And your goal? $5,000 per month, which is $60,000 per year. At a 10% return, that means you need about $600,000 invested. So now let's walk through what actually happens. In year one, you start with $50,000, and after compounding twice in 1 year, you end with $55,125. Not enough to really make a huge dent yet, but stay with me. Year two, you add another $50,000. Now you're working with $105,125. Still not quite there yet. After compounding, $115,900. Year three, you add another $50,000. Now you're starting the year with $165,900. After compounding, $182,905. Year four, you add another $50,000. You're starting with $232,905. After compounding, $256,778. Still, we're getting there. Add another $50,000, starting with $306,778. After compounding, $338,223. So just want to stop here for a second. That was the end of year five. You've contributed $250,000 of your own money, but you're sitting now on $338,000. That gap, that extra $88,000 is money you never had to earn. You never worked for it. You never traded time for it. That's compounding, and from here it only accelerates. So now we're back to year six, where guess what? Adding another $50,000, but at the end of the year we'll have $428,015. And at year seven, we're adding another $50,000. At the end of the year, $527,012. Year eight, the moment it happens, we're adding another $50,000, and at the end of the year, we will have $636,156. At that point, at a 10% return, you're generating about $63,000 a year. That's over $5,000 per month. This, of course, can keep going. You don't have to stop there, but that was our goal, right? The $5,000 per month. So the answer to that question, right, how long could you go until you generated that $5,000 per month is 8 years. But let's be real for a second. If you're a physician, an engineer, a pharmacist like me, or a high-income professional pulling $300,000 a year, you don't need a hustle. You don't need to sell something random online. You don't need the next shiny thing someone is promising you that will make you $10,000 next week. What you need is your capital working as hard as you do. And most passive income strategies aren't built for people like you. They're built for people starting from zero with no income and no capital. This strategy assumes you already have income, and that changes everything about the math and the timeline. For me personally, I'm 37 years old, and if I follow a strategy like this, I'm hitting $5,000 per month in about 8 years. That puts me in my mid-40s. That's way before what most people think of as a retirement age. And here's what I think a lot of high-income W-2 earners miss. Your income is actually your advantage, because putting away $25,000, $50,000 or more per year is very doable. And for some of you, this may actually be a conservative example. You're not trying to figure out how to scrape together capital. You already have it flowing in every month. The only question is whether you're putting it to work. Think about this. What happens if you invest $75,000 instead of $50,000, or you do $100,000 instead of $50,000? You don't just make a little bit more. You collapse the timeline. That 8 years could turn into 6 years or less. You also could go for a goal bigger than $5,000 a month. But as a reminder, the goal isn't to rush into something quickly. The goal is consistency, a solid return, and letting time do all the heavy lifting. You do not need a crazy strategy. You just need one that works, and one that you, of course, can stick with. This is why I personally love private money lending, because this is not theoretical. This is exactly how many lenders scale. They deploy their capital, they recycle it every 6 to 12 months, they reinvest the profits, and they keep adding from their W-2 income. You do not need 20 properties. you need consistent yield and discipline. 8 years from now, you're going to be somewhere. This is one way to make sure it's exactly where you planned. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like and subscribe for more content.